and we'll make it 8-7. Anything else? Motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Third, fourth. You have your choice. Okay, no delegations tonight. Oh, no, sorry, we do have a public hearing tonight. I'll see why there's public hearing. So tonight we have a public hearing. It's to develop agreement for 81 Montague Road, formerly known as the Siesta Hotel. Tom, you have anything to add to that?
So, we're gathered here for the development agreement of 81 Montague Road, bid number 302298785. The Digby Area Housing Coalition Society to permit the redevelopment of Civic 81 Montague Road, same bid number, for the purposes of establishing 14 residential dwelling units, associated common use facilities, and administrative office space as proposed in the application dated February 7th, 2023.
Any comments from council? Any comments from the public? And Charles, if you want to sit up here, if it's easier for you here.
I wouldn't mind, yeah, because
Yeah,
I like
I know that here, yes. But could you face that way? I don't want to look at you.
Thanks.
So, no comments from the public? We knew this was going to be quick and easy, so. Can we have
Or no written submissions?
no written submissions either? I was just gonna, yeah. So there's no comments from the public, none from council, no written submissions. So this will be the, and then later on in the meeting, we do the final, third reading. We have a motion.
I'll move that. Second. Whatever.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah. No, really.
Yeah. If no general discussion, we go for adjournment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, we'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting. Second?
Second.
That's it. Okay. Well, we still have a little bit more on the,
Actual second reading will be in under.
in about 5 minutes. Okay, no, do we have a motion to approve the minutes of May the 1st? Unless there's some errors or omissions? If hearing none, do we have a motion to approve those?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor of the motion, say
Aye.
aye. Any nays? None. Business arising from the minutes, spring into summer event. Where are we with that? Anything? Other than we know the day. Oh, no, there was a,
We were, I had an email while we were away from Jeff from the district DP, and his council was wondering whether we wanted to have a joint booth.
so they want to know whether they want to consolidate with us? That what it is? Or am I using the wrong word?
Just
We amalgamate our booths?
here.
We're gonna amalgamate our booths? Are we interested in doing that? If they do, I think their cost is $750.
Yours is 1,200.
I guess our theme at that, if they agree with the theme, our theme was for waste check and on our insect premises and stuff, isn't that our general theme of the booth?
To promote, push that.
Push that, black bags gone and stuff like that.
Yeah, to really talk about some of the issues around waste check, garbage and stuff. I know
That's a
it's
little push, right?
the district is interested. What is the cost of the booth? again, I forget. $180. Do we have to pay extra for power?
Yeah, that's included.
That's included for power. Are you interested in having the town and the municipality sharing, a district sharing a booth?
This is for tenants and common, tenants and short.
Well, none of it's consolidation, so.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
Sure. Okay. So Tom can talk to Jeff, but that's our theme, is to promote, things around waste checking and proper disposal and that kind of stuff, because it continues to be an issue. Probably always will be, but we do our little piece. So, okay, Tom, you can talk to Jeff then.
Do you need to be scheduled again this year?
Yeah,
Got to begin every time.
yeah, we have the events down there. Because we also have Canada Day coming up too, so. St. Pat's Community Kitchen request. They have written us looking for some money. Just gonna bring up that letter, there's so much here tonight. Everybody had a look at that letter. We're asking for some money for the community kitchen, the dinners, we're asking for $3,200? $3,500?
Is there anything left in our grants organizations, or? We could
You
do
were,
something.
if I recall, your worship, you were going to have a meeting involving churches and discuss.
Yeah, we haven't, I know that group has had a meeting, and then they were gonna invite in myself, the ward, and Jim also, and that hasn't happened yet. So that may be, that meeting was to bring all the community groups together that are involved in food and providing services. We want to try to put some kind of overall umbrella on it, so that we all know who's looking for what, who needs what. So I don't know, maybe we can kind of, I don't know, is it fair to hold off until that happens?
Well, again, it's, I mean, I know the need is there, and I don't want to seem hard, but we do have a process and we just don't do it.
We can write back and maybe ask him, well, explain that to him. If you want. I know they don't think they approached the district or anybody else. They came to us.
Is there some we can take out of, grants organization, we always do that buffer, so I'm just wondering.
Is there any less?
$70 a week, right? We're operating on $70 a week, feed 50 people, so. I don't know if the food bank's open, is the food bank open, or?
Yeah, I made that inquiry. I think it's been pretty inconsistent lately, but this has been going on for quite a while, the kitchen.
Yeah.
You can also make donations to them. Some people do go, some of the general public have gone and just make donations for the diet. Is there any, are you interested in having them come? We could ask Teresa to come,
Could be that, maybe the whole.
committee of the whole, we'll ask her to come, yeah. Okay, so we'll hold it until committee of the whole.
Maybe we get told what we have left in that fund.
And that way we understand exactly what we're doing. 3, second and final reading from municipal planning strategy amendment. Well, you're the chair, you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Nope, simple as that. So we'll recognize this as a second final reading. No motion over this, Tom, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, this is, yeah, there it is there, okay. Someone want to make that a motion, or does anybody got any questions for the planning committee, which we all sit on, so.
I didn't have questions, I saw their updated drawing. Did they address the park? Did they add, how many more spaces that was requested in the file?
Oh, this isn't,
Oh, that's, oh, okay.
yeah, this is a different,
This is the amendment to our strategy, and then
Then,
The next one is gonna be the, Siesta Development Agreement.
Yeah.
And later, when I'm doing first reading to the Victoria Street.
clear as mud now.
This is for, Part 4 policy IM5, right?
Right, exactly, you have in front of you
This
there.
is one that the municipalities want to, or let
Yeah,
them know.
probably raising the deputy wards here.
Yeah.
I'll move that Part 4 policy IM5 be amended to read, it shall be a policy of council to review the municipal planning strategy and land use bylaw as deemed necessary by council due to changing conditions but not later than every 5 years. In considering amendments to or the repeal and replacement of the strategy, council shall seek input from the community and the abutting municipality as required by the Municipal Government Act and as provided for in the town's public participation program resolution.
Second it?
Second.
Any discussion on it? I think it'd be much easier if we just read it Conway anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Municipality probably doesn't know what to do with it.
No. Any discussion on that motion? If none, can we, call for the vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. Okay, then we move into the second and final reading of 81 Montague Row. Everybody has that in front of them. There's no questions from the public hearing, no written notices. Everybody's had a chance to look at it? Any comments? No? Boy, quiet.
Now I can make a motion on it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
this one
Yes,
we can't.
so now make the motion that, although I read it before, that we move,
Yeah.
the second reading for, 81 Montague Road.
Second. Any discussion? None, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays. So hopefully that'll get underway tomorrow morning.
Not that good.
Not that quick, yeah.
14-day appeal period.
Yeah, we do have 14-day appeal, but as you see, there'll be nobody here to. I'd be surprised if someone couldn't appeal it, so. Okay, we'll move into reports. Tom? Okay.
Relatively busy month again. And we've had, I've had a lot of miscellaneous unscheduled meetings through the month with numerous individuals, so actually it's been quite difficult to, get some work done. And I may have to, change my open door policy to wide appointment only because, well, I'll just be starting something else and that won't talk to you about this, won't talk to you about that. So. Next item, sale of town lands, so the newly subdivided lot at lot number 2022 on Shore Road and lot 2023 on Third Avenue can now be put up for sale. And the council may sell property at market value when the property is no longer required for the purposes of the municipality. So I guess we sort of missed a step with it, and by a motion of council would be required to state that the council declares that those two lots, or one of the lots, whichever the case may be, are not required for the purposes of the town of Digby and will be placed on MLS for sale.
Do you need that as a motion now?
Yeah.
Yeah, make that motion. That lot number, newly subdivided lot number 30382 816 and 30382 808 be declared surplus for the town. In which case, that's for sale.
Second, one lot, the Shore Road lot, I've been approached by other folks on that, so that's gonna be a hot commodity on the market.
So,
I'll just call for, any further discussion? None? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. So the council may also, just to consider maybe putting conditions on the sale of the property, and which are that the property be developed for residential use. And in a buyback agreement, should the property not be developed within a certain period of time. So that, and people just making money,
Yep.
you know, turn it over. And I mean, we're really, we're selling this as an investment, which will need that investment of tax dollars over the years. And also to support housing development, residential development.
You prepared to amend your motion?
I am.
All right, okay. And the seconder?
Yes.
Peter, yeah. Those conditions. What timeline is, you thinking a year or 2 years? We've done this before, and that's how we ended up with the park. That land was sold, they didn't develop it, so it came back to the town, so then we developed it into a park. What's a reasonable amount of time? Especially today for someone who's gonna build a house.
No one asked.
I would say 2 years because you're still waiting on a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, just, it's,
The thing is, the agreements that I've sort of looked at or done some research on some of the agreements, how they're worded. 2 years is one of the things, but, basically, if they've broken ground within that period, then they're good, right?
Okay.
Right,
So is there anything, Tom, which starts a clock ticking that says it has to be finished? So much time?
I haven't, I gotta do some more research on.
Because that's, to me, that's technically a loophole. I could break
Yeah.
ground and never finish it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But,
this, yeah, it would need to be a substantial amount of
Yes.
development. Yeah.
Can you put something in there that would state that the property's value has to be brought up to a certain level? That effectively,
Subjective though, of the market, right?
sure, I guess, but
Especially the market's going this way now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a percentage of construction.
percentage of construction would work, but some sort of a number to work towards.
Yeah.
Well, you could, though, those stipulations that the building can't be below a certain size.
Doesn't work, because otherwise you build a shed there.
Well, yeah, it has to be residential.
technically, you can't live in a shed.
Shit, yeah, yeah.
Whatever the smallest shed is like.
Boy, I thought this was properties to show you.
I know. I'm just saying what is in our bylaw,
Yeah,
right?
But you don't want something that's 10 by 12.
and you just, it's difficult to say substantial amount of development, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Or do you even worry about it? You just sell it, say it's not developed, and there are conversations, and if not, then it goes back to the town. And if they disagree, then it's a bunch of battles.
Yeah, the more clarity we can put in it to make sure that
Yeah.
if it's barely started or not developed, so that it's not a legal fight at the other end, probably makes sense. But,
Well, you'd like to think that someone investing money in our money, that we think it's worth, would put, probably a home from that park.
Yeah, but the ones that are expressed interest in it are.
That's what they're leading
What they built that.
Yeah.
The ones that I've talked to me have talked, that's what they want to do, is put a structure there, or a house there.
Mhm.
So, do you want to do more research, before we can withdraw this motion? at the
Maybe
moment.
that's what we should do. and
And just
we
do a
have
little
all
bit
our-
more digging or kind of think about it.
Well, the thing
It'd be
is,
a
I
month.
kinda like to get the,
You wanna get a list of it?
yeah,
Yeah,
sooner the better. I mean, that's all, those agreements are part of the purchase and sale agreement,
Right,
really.
so it's something that the realtor could come back to us with?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm willing to accept that.
So when, you know, purchase and sale agreement could have these conditions in it, right? So.
50% of the total value of the project
Isn't it?
is a minimum. If they're gonna invest that kind of money, then you know they have to complete it, unless there was something terrible happening or whatever, but, yeah. That's a different option. But that sounds reasonable, 50% of the total cost.
I mean, there's, I guess it doesn't matter, but if you can find water up there for the well, it's a cottage, it's a camp,
Yeah,
no matter how big it is.
yeah, that would be a different, oh,
There must have been something there before.
it would have been well, yeah, there at that time, the region was there.
Substantial building up there.
Yeah.
The assessment's gonna be enough. They can get what we need in water.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah.
You don't have to go much further, do you?
Yeah, really, we don't, right?
No, because they picked the water up just near the BIC, was it? Just they ran that line. I saw where they cut.
Yeah, we run from,
I saw where they cut it.
where it is into the pines, up along the shoulder of the road and into the thing, so we
Build another 200 feet.
can, if we have to, right?
Okay. So our motion, well, amended is stick in the, construction needs to be at 50% completed within a
Yes.
2-year term.
And that those, rest of those conditions are in the bill, in the list.
In the list.
Of the state.
Yeah. And that's for both lots?
Correct.
Okay. You willing to amend your motion? Put that in there too?
Yeah.
Okay. The motion was carried, so. You got that, Melissa?
I think
You can keep it. Just review it.
It's like the ongoing.
I think it's one more.
So, the meeting that it was scheduled today with a real estate agent did not transpire, but I communicated the email, and I do have some, pricing, or suggested sale price for the discussing camera.
Okay. Okay. That'll make some people very happy that they're going on the argument.
And kick some affordable housing, people are very happy
Discuss that in Toronto right now.
Dignity Food Bank, and so I had no contact with the Dignity Food Bank in the last month concerning the rental agreement with Space at Mount Street School. Therefore, no signed rental agreement with the food bank is in place.
You send them a letter?
What's that?
That was
Six
this
weeks
was
up.
up. That was up.
Salvation Army's up now.
Yeah.
Since February.
to. So he hasn't paid any rent to them, he hasn't paid any rent to us. So should we send a bill?
And the information that's being shared by that group is completely different than what we have discussed with them, so. The numbers that they're telling people that we're charging are and 20-30% higher than what we actually have, so. I think it's time to recommend it, that's, yeah.
Could we send a letter not, well, I don't know, we can find the addresses of the, board on the joint registry of stocks to send a request that they come and meet with the committee.
They're not registered, that's good stuff. He's
They're
registered.
not?
No, he's Canadian Charities Act, that's where he's registered, so. So,
Uh,
oh, they're in
So maybe we just change the lots and make them cities.
I wish he would come see us to
Mm.
discuss it, that's his option, but
Yeah.
he won't come here and discuss it, so I read the letter, make him aware that he's in default, and please come and talk to us. Tom has to quote him when he has to quote him, but he won't, he can come to council, we can talk to him.
He's informed, but he,
Yeah.
last thing he did, went out the door, said, well, I have to meet with my board and inform them, and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
That's quite some time.
Well, almost 2 months ago.
He's sold his house too, and it's relevant, but he's mighty busy.
Okay. So give him a letter, and he can, and then there you can tell him that he's invited to come talk to council.
Maybe he's planning on going down to Mr. Bell.
So can we get the letter to him the week at committee hall? 2 weeks now? Get it straightened out.
Yeah, because longer it's just gonna be a big mess.
Yeah.
And former downtown VIC on Montague Road, so that has taken occupancy. And provisions have been made for the use of the washrooms by the farmer's market during the days of the market. Once a public washroom has been completed on Admiral Fault, the farmer's market will use that public washrooms.
Start date for those pump washing was gonna be this week, wasn't it? I suppose, I thought it was. Huh?
Yeah, it was on.
Is it open?
Completion or start?
Was that?
Oh, I thought,
I thought August.
Completion.
Oh, we were talking.
oh, yeah, okay. Start, I was understood it was gonna start.
Well, I know the pad is off,
Yeah, okay.
run down there, I'm not sure if this one got run yet or not.
In the agriculture sector.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
and the contractor has been awarded, so I think we just waiting for materials, I guess. So that,
Probably better, yeah.
just before we move on, the Director of Public Works, put in a webinar over the Housing Accelerator Fund, CMHC, Government of Canada. So give me a brief of what he learned, and so the purpose is to drive transformational change within the sphere of control of the local government regarding land use planning and development approvals with the overall objective to accelerate supply of housing. The budget is $4 billion. Objectives are to create core supply housing at an accelerated pace and enhance certainty in the approvals and building process, whilst also supporting the following priorities: active transportation, low carbon, climate resilient communities, supporting the development of affordable, inclusive, equitable, and diverse communities. And the goal is to support 100,000 more housing units that would have not been built. Eligible applicants are local governments within Canada, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit governments. Applicant stream for our town is a small rural northern indigenous with populations less than 10,000. To be eligible for incentive funding, the applicant must develop an action plan as part of their HAP application and meet the minimum number of initiatives. Commit to a housing supply growth target and complete or update a housing needs assessment report. We can apply for $20,000 per unit, up to $40,000 per unit. And the funding can be used for housing, parks, active transportation, and infrastructure. So his recommendation is for council to sort of read the pre-application reference manual. It's full of all kinds of information. So that is placed on, I did place that document on the cloud, and it's under housing. So you find the folder housing, open that, and it's the only document currently there. It's a PDF document. And so we have the Mount Street project. We're still working on getting a design and things done, but apparently it's looking like it's more around closer to $1 million than 500,000. The issue is that because we're, in our instance, because we're converting a building from commercial use or from an institutional type building to a residential type building, that everything has to be brought up to the new codes. So that's where the money is really, and so basically there's some, I guess, question or debate on whether the town should consider building new as opposed to renovating that building. So, but we have to get some professional opinions on that.
Yeah, you're getting that. I think conversation should be had with an actual contractor too on it. And there's one or two that said they would do that. The webinar, I sent it on, I took that webinar a couple months ago. It's online, you can watch it. I sat in on it. And I think the next round, did he mention, Tom, next round funding's in the fall? I think there was a closing date on the first one.
Yeah, I didn't mention that one because.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a closing date for the first spring or something, and then there was another round coming up. So we have time to look at it, and see if it makes sense. But I would suggest you, like Tom said, look at that.
Well, that reference guide,
Yeah.
basically, it's good education.
Well,
So you know.
If we were to do that, Tom, would there still be enough room in the lot beside the Mount Street School to do something like that?
That's one we just put up for sale. Yeah. Which we can always,
That's why.
yeah, we can always withdraw that.
I would say that lot probably not big enough to, it's a good sized lot,
You need 8, right?
so but basically, yeah, I would say that building, they're won't be able to do the parking requirement. We might be able to fit the building on it, but the parking requirements we couldn't address on that piece.
The Prime Minister stood up in front of us last week and said, get your applications in for supportive housing. We've gone from all that to affordable, now they call it supportive housing. And what that means is just not build a house, but have other it's programs that deal with addictions and mental health issues, the whole gamut, that's, yeah. Okay, well, read that, because if it doesn't fit that, there are other programs or money that can go towards, you heard active transportation, parking, things like that. Infrastructure, yeah.
That lot down on Queens, right next to the Olive Street, that's a pretty big spot. Diane, where you?
Yeah,
You might be able to do something in that spot.
there's a guy with his boat there,
Not worried about the boat, we'll sell the boat with.
Yeah.
it's not mine anymore. Don't know. Okay, read that, maybe we can discuss that committee of the whole, we'll go through that, and come up with some ideas. If it's not gonna fit our housing then maybe it'll fit something else. Okay. Committee of the whole. There were some recommendations to council of the committee of the whole. Anybody like to put some of those motions in effect?
I'll make a motion that we add the Gracianette Church request for paving with an estimate cost of $12,000. The town of Digby capital budget plan for the year 2024-2025.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Actually, I went over in a big rainstorm
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. It really wasn't flooded that bad.
Well, yes, it wasn't too
I
bad.
took some pictures and video, and it really isn't that bad, so.
Not
Whatever it had in mind,
Yeah.
it'll probably cure that problem.
Yeah, I have seen the backhoe down there scraping the dirt off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was pouring that day, I was gonna, it wasn't gonna be that bad.
When did it rain? This week?
Oh,
Yeah. All those in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. The Town of Digby 2023-24 capital. Anybody want to spend a couple $1 million today?
Big phones and talk.
Tom's gonna talk about that again, is it changing on us again?
The only change that, since we got the information on the Mount Street, I think it's the last item, oh no, it's not the last item. That's highlighted in gray, I think it's on page 4 of 5, and there's, 75,000 in the budget for this year for the upgrade. And basically, we want to put something in there if council decides that we need to do that plan and things, we'll at least have money earmarked there, okay? So that's for, that's the change, basically the change. And in future years, it'll be what it's.
And that can all be offset if we do it by some money from that, because you just said there was some grant, project design money.
Yeah.
But we do need it in there. Any comments on that change? It's a number today, it doesn't mean we're gonna spend it today or next year or the year after, but it's a number.
That'd be on.
Yeah, it's just a line at the moment.
Okay, I'll move the Town of Digby 2023-2024 capital investment plan be approved as presented.
Second.
Any more discussion on it? None, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. Next one.
Make a motion that we amend the HR policy 2014-02, salary administration policy as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? None? Oh, you guys are quiet today. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None. Number 4.
Make a motion that the council reject the proposal from the TCRCE for the rental of the Digby station.
Second. And they always have an opportunity, they always have an opportunity to come back with another. Or have they?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
They would like to make a presentation to the
Yeah.
committee of the whole,
Who's they?
TRC.
And is that including
TCRCE.
And that's including somebody with signing authority?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you
And that's fine. Yeah, we-
Oh, yeah, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, it's much better that we hear directly from you.
Yeah, and I explained that, there was questions that council had that I couldn't answer, or felt I shouldn't answer on their behalf, and, so, she said yes, that they would, and I gave them some dates so they pick for June's committee hall.
Perfect.
Yes. So,
Good to hear them.
so you have got a motion to reject the proposal on the floor.
Well, the proposal we were given, I think we should reject that. Now that we have a new proposal, it's new money.
Yeah, well, we can do that. If they come and present based on this proposal, then we can have a frank conversation with them and we can revisit it, yeah.
Sure.
The politicians, we can change their mind. All those in favor of that motion, say aye. Any nays? Yeah. Planning advisory report. Did you deliver that, Will? No. It's in the package. So we need, some motions based on what is,
We need one.
only one, yeah, we don't have to read each one, no.
No, that's all,
Part of that.
that's, it's gonna be subject to these things. And, most of these things have been addressed. I tried to get some direct clarification from Chris for tonight's meeting, so, we're good to give first reading. Until we have it confirmed that they addressed all the concerns and provided the new information. We can't set the public hearing date tonight until we have that confirmed, because that's gonna be part of the package that will go to the general public. Right, so, but we can get first reading and then,
So it looks like they've made a change in what they're gonna do. Instead of putting townhouses, they're gonna put commercial space down the
yeah, that's how we address the, number 2, the relocation of proposed townhouse structure for requirements of policy C14 and land use bylaw part 7.1 or .3.2D. So basically, what they have done is gonna replace the townhouses, 4-unit townhouses, with a commercial building within that 100 feet. So that will basically cover everything that we in compliance with those, that policy and the land use part.
The townhouse structure will be there, just a different spot.
Townhouse structure is gone.
Yeah,
That's the latest proposal. Instead of not building, just taking it out, not building anything, they're proposing. And I think in their thing, there was a thing about the phases, confirming the proposed phasing of the development. They,
That's that change number 1, Tom, if they take up the townhouses, does that reduce their requirement for the amenity space? Because it's per unit?
Yeah.
And do they fall within the bylaw by taking those out and not increasing the amenity? Have they got enough space now, is what I'm saying?
yeah, I believe they do, yes.
yeah, the amenity space is more directed towards the apartment.
Yeah.
It's not so much the townhouse, but I know what you're saying.
But it's every unit, yeah, in the bylaw, every unit has to have so many square feet.
Yeah. So basically, it's gonna be, you're gonna be 4 units less, so, the amenity space will be requirement less.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna come back with phasing, because I know I was told they started 2 other projects out, so it's getting slow.
Depends what interest rates do.
Yeah. So,
They said that.
Yeah.
All three buildings, they anticipate to be phase 1. But they said the commercial space is gonna be contingent on market values and stuff. So that.
Tenants.
Yeah. Well, not the residential.
No,
Residential,
the
we're gonna
commercial.
go do them first. But it's part of, commercial will be part of phase 1 if the commercial market would support building it at this time. I guess that's basically what we're looking at. It's you know, makes
So could
sense.
we be in a position where we get to phase one's completed, it didn't include the commercial space, and then we get to phase where that's supposed to be done, there's no market there, it never gets completed.
But they comply because they left the space,
So they're caught into the, okay.
right? They can't put a, they can't change their mind and put a residential building there because, you know,
And they can't not, but
No,
they cannot build it, but the thing is, they have to reserve 100 feet of back from the street for commercial use.
Yeah.
Right? So they're gonna do that either by not building the townhouse,
Yep.
4-unit townhouse, and by proposing that they're gonna build a commercial space on that. If not, if nothing gets built there, they've got the 100 feet that they need to set back.
which is, I suspect, what they have.
You have to build the residential
Yeah.
anyway first.
Yeah.
well,
They'd have to build the residential first to get added anyway.
Yes. Yes.
the discussion that the province has put out there is towns need to look at their land use bylaws to allow housing and develop housing.
Mm.
So they're encouraging towns to start looking at making changes in their land use bylaws.
It would be nice if they allowed that commercial development to have the second floor house.
Yeah, well, that's what my thoughts was, but they're anxious to get this going, but I do know they started 2 others, I was told last week they started 2 others.
So, I
So
mean,
we don't need to read all this.
yeah, because I don't think that they need to have an amendment to the development agreement if they don't. Because that's in the commercial zone, and it would be a commercial building. And our bylaw allows for residential on top of a commercial building.
Yeah.
In all our commercial zones now. So
Yeah.
what you're suggesting is commercial on the bottom, and they probably just never connected, thought that yet, but
That may, and
at least that's my opinion. I
Yeah.
don't know what Chris will
So
say.
it makes sense for them.
Well, it makes sense, and they should be made aware of that, and,
Yeah, they might.
if that, they may not be aware of it, and if this is gonna hold up housing, then we need to make some changes too.
So wouldn't like a convenience store in the bottom of the apartment work?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I need, and that service.
Well, any commercial,
And
could be an
anything could
office.
be office
Yeah,
space.
that's right, yeah.
Right? It's a commercial, or whatever it is for a commercial use.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because that's what we allow in both
zones.
If it's a one floor or 1-story building, then commercial has to be in the front, storefront, street frontage. And 50% or less can be, residential in the back. Same as like where Warfrat was, the old IGA building.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's commercial in the front, but there's residential in the back. So we have it so that we can do it that way, or if it's a 2-story or 3-story building, then commercial on the bottom floor and residential on the top floors.
So someone want to make that a motion? The one thing I think the conversation we have around the names in the development permit, I don't think they're quite correct, the names, but you can probably. I know that's how to submit it, but I'm told that one of those is going to be involved. So.
Yeah,
I might
well,
ask.
it's probably, he probably got the information based on what was on property online on the
Yeah.
ownership,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if that changes, then that's,
Yeah.
if that change, whatever is at the current time that we do the development agreement, whatever ownership it is, it will be, unless they do make it a company and put it into the company name, so they can do that as well. Right?
I think you'll see that.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, just the first part, and you can just mention with the following, or 6 conditions. You'll have to-
I agree to enter into development agreement with Robin Wilson, Crystal Tessier, and Melissa Patterson to permit the development of a 100-unit, multiple-unit residential development on Victoria Memorial Street, PID number 302253320, as detailed in the application dated January 13, 2003, subject to following conditions.
Second it? Third, fourth, any further discussion? You know, do we know, is Chris driving the agenda on the hearings and stuff, or are we gonna force him to move along with the next, we have to have it?
The ball is in their court now, it's not in our court.
Yeah.
We've told them what they need to do, and they have addressed the majority of them at this point. They haven't, I would say that,
Some of the engineering might be slow.
the installation of the crosswalk at the proposed driveway, didn't see that got confirmed yet, so, but the other stuff, some of the other stuff,
You think, I drove by, do you think eventually a sidewalk up to meet the other one? Like up towards the school someday? Yeah. Would make more sense
Yeah.
than another crosswalk, cause you got 10 of them there, but if we need it right now, we need it right now.
It's much better to go that way towards the RCMP than down to Prince William Street.
And then cross, and then back up, right? Yeah. Okay, all those in favor of that, say aye.
Please, right away.
Very, yes, motion carries, yeah. And I think that was the last one, wasn't it? Yeah. Waste check. What's happening with waste? Check.
We had our AGM last time. And the warden was back at the chair.
You have to know, Mike, that Digby Salvage and Disposal has managed to crack my brand new garbage. Read it.
They broke my lead too.
This was the new one that's supposed to be indestructible. Apparently it's not.
No. He's all at the Toronto, they have a type of lock for those, keep animals in, but they're easy to disconnect.
Yeah, the locks are kind of, I'm gonna bring that up.
Yeah, and waste check meeting, yeah.
The lock was on it, so animals can't get in it, but when the truck comes to dump it, it automatically opens it. So they're kind of neat. Yeah. So even if we did those for people who have rodent problems, ask them to buy their own, even, I don't think they're that expensive.
No, I didn't ask,
They
but
did last
What
either.
would I spend $40 now?
How much?
I just used
$40,
buttons.
$40.
I just used bungee cord, which is small.
Yeah. Yeah, but still, it's an option, right?
Yeah.
So,
Would that be something that would keep them from opening if, say, a truck backed into one across the road?
yeah, probably would.
Okay,
Address the issue of people having two.
yeah,
I don't think people do have two. Not
I've seen
supposed
those
to have
houses
two.
around town that have two. My next door neighbor has two.
That's two.
it's not two neighbors joining up, is it?
No.
I know that happens
Yeah,
someplace.
that came to the meeting that people were sharing one.
I'm pretty sure someone took the extra one that had get thrown in my backyard out of it, so someone's got a second one.
Well, they are all numbered, so they are registered to a property, so it's easy to find out whose it is, right? So get some numbers off it for them. You can find out.
I think it's something that Ken got when he lived there because he wanted one for yard waste and one for kitchen disposal.
are they both green?
Dark green, the old ones. Yeah, the big square ones.
Those, we did have the black ones as well,
Yes.
and we use them for mostly like apartment buildings and stuff, or the regular garbage to put in. I think that was trying to combat the rodent problem and the overflow of garbage bins and stuff like that.
Okay, big area recreation.
14 package.
What's the highlight?
That's a chair.
That's a cherry.
That's a chair.
Well, I see your chair now getting a weekly remuneration.
That's the latest with community use of schools, or can you talk about it yet?
There is some headway on that. Sharon's been talking with, Adam, the principal, and everything's going really well. They're going to forfeit the janitorial fees. Right now, we're working on a,
I thought the problem with that was the fact that it was in their contract and it's union work that you had to pay for.
Well, they said they would.
School waived it now.
they waived it now, you're right, they were supposed to pay, and that's what it was costing you. And then, the other problem is there's this interaction where you have a lot of problems with, basketball overruns or something like this, and we're just trying to work on, and I've gotta figure it out, I wanna talk to Sharon about that, was some kind of booking system application that the school and DART can run together. That way, if the school wants to have basketball on Friday night, we are thinking about having an open gym. 'Cause a lot of times I get the text from DART, they cancel stuff, and I find I get them a lot. It's like, well, that's kinda gotta be a bit frustrating for somebody coming off Brer Island or Weymouth, gets that text at 3 in the afternoon that that's canceled. And we try to eliminate a little bit of that stuff, right?
Now, there's an issue, and this is from personal experience, where staff is paid to stay to a certain hour, but they get done early, and they won't leave.
That was discussed when I was on it too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
any complaints about that, or?
Pass, lots.
Yeah.
But they're,
The other
they're fairly
cautionary-
close to signing
Well,
anyway. They're
maybe you
fairly close
guys,
to signing a good agreement anyway.
yeah, can get together.
The other cautionary tale I have for you is, if you're gaining more control of it, be careful what you wish for, because now a lot of the stuff in that school needs to be refurbished or replaced.
By the school? Yeah, I know, and that was brought up with the theater, that's the other thing, is that they're trying to get people trained on some of the older equipment that's in there and stuff like that, so, are you one of them? Yeah. It's a shame though, I mean, but that's been the problem, I mean, that theater hasn't been used the way it should have been, it was built in what, 2002? And all that equipment is older now, and it does have to be replaced, but it's because there was never any firm agreement on anything, but.
Just so you know, Matthew, I have run it and qualified to run it. I stepped back from it to argue on this side. I didn't want to be in conflict. So I don't take bookings, I don't
Yeah,
go up there anymore.
yeah, they've got some other people though that have signed up, so it should run fairly well.
From 9 to 3.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move into correspondence now. Letter from Jenny O'Brien. She did send it to me, but that was a week where I was not leaving one particular room in my house. That was a bad week. So I've been approached about that road in the past too.
So I took a little tour today over there, and, some observations that I made from one end to the other is, Third Avenue is a blind street. 52 Carlton on the right-hand side off of Third Avenue is also a blind driveway or hidden driveway.
There's a little crest there, we can't
Yeah.
see.
65 through to 88 is very clear, you can see very well. Then when you hit the hill, there's a hidden driveway for the fish place there, the traps. And on the left, there's a driveway, and on the right, just over the hill. So you go over the hill, the fish plant's there, and there's another house right there. So those are two hidden driveways. Perhaps, of course, the hidden driveway signs and a stop sign ahead would slow traffic down, I don't know. There's a bad bump, there's a drain hole there, there's a real bad bump there, it's been there for probably 24 years now. But that's in front of 61. The road has areas that need patching both on the road and along the edge, is very rough. The Civics there, 71, 81, 79, 65. She mentions the trucks. When I was there probably 10, 15 minutes, 2 oil trucks passed me.
Yeah.
and Victoria Fish Truck. So I would say that's where a lot of the trucks are coming from, the oil trucks and the fish plant there.
The only way you're gonna limit it is to make a truck route
Well,
somewhere.
yeah, I'm just seeing
Yeah,
what's.
but that's the letter we
Yeah.
got months before, it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
And there is no speed limit signs, she's right, there's no children playing, I don't know where they play, but there's a lot of blind spots in driveway.
Yeah.
So,
But I think it goes back to, we can post as many signs as we like unless we have an
Yeah.
RCMP presence there, slow speeders down.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna change.
but there are some areas that they are pretty rough. And there's no real room there, I don't think, for a sidewalk or anything, for someone to bike along. I don't
There's
know
also a
what-
problem where that meets King Street, where there's a paved shoulder to direct the water down into one of the drains, but it narrows how it lines up going across the intersection. So if you have a car parked on that street facing town and want to go across King Street to it, it's a really tight squeeze because of that side pavement to get over. Yeah.
That was my next
It's
question,
not a
could
good-
you put a yellow line right through, a solid yellow line to block the road? 'Cause
Yeah.
I was parked on the side and I had to move up to almost George King's to shove off the road so people could buy me.
And he's one of the individuals who heard about the trucks before, and then he, one of the individuals lived on the other end down corner of Victoria and this street complained about trucks, it's trucks, so you either say no trucks and you have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you do that, then you might hear from the other street, where you might send trucks, so it is an issue, it's a narrow road.
It's a narrow road, yeah.
And because you got commercial right there, you got the fuel depot and the lobster place, and all their trucks go downtown, that
Just
street.
cover the ditch with the sidewalk.
It's a direct route to Wharf.
And that's why they do it.
That's why they do it,
It's a
yeah,
direct
for oil
route.
and fish, yeah. But she's right, there was like 3 trucks in like 10 minutes. of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we request that the RCMP step up their patrol to start?
Well, I don't know if it's a speed issue there, or is it just trucks?
I think it's big, noisy, loud
It's
trucks.
a pretty hard road to speed on in a big truck, it's a rough road, it
Yeah.
is a rough road, yeah. Does get a lot of use, but there's some patching that should probably be done.
Does redirecting traffic make any sense? Local traffic only. Of course, the truck place or the lobster, they have access. Yeah, they have access to that. Right?
Yeah, they do, it's right on that blind spot.
Yeah, they have access to it.
Might seem a little strange, but what about the idea of making it a one-way street?
As in going down or coming out of town?
I don't know which way would be the best, or would have to,
Probably coming out of town, we'd have to go one way,
yeah,
because that way you can continue to loop around Water Street and up and around and out.
yeah, it would give you room to be able to put a sidewalk on the street, or at least a proper shoulder for folks to walk on, and it would make it a little safer for.
You did King,
everyone.
you did King.
Yeah, King
King
on,
to
yeah,
Victoria.
from King
King to
on.
Victoria one way, right?
Yeah.
You do,
I
it,
just about had a head-on collision today because of the wagon that came up that hill runway.
Yeah.
well, you do that, then you'll have the people that actually live on the street saying, well, now I gotta go all the way around the walk and get downtown. So you're gonna get some
You're gonna
kickback
get
somewhere,
anyway, yeah.
yeah.
Either you want a safe street though, or you want
Yeah.
to go around,
Yeah.
right?
Where you redirect. we've looked at it in the past, and this is not the first time. And it was suggested to redirect traffic down to the
I
rack.
thought it was when we retired.
Yeah. Yes, but not trucks.
Yeah, not trucks, not cars.
Just cars.
Yeah.
Can we canvass the area? Can we send the residents a letter asking how they feel about Main Street?
One-way street or no truck traffic.
Either way.
Give a
Give
couple
us
of
some
options.
options, yeah.
There's what, 15 homes in that street, 20 homes? No, most of them. Yeah, it wouldn't take long to do that. You could draft something up and Public Works and walk down that street in 20 minutes. Some of them
The
can.
only thing is they're probably gonna go to no trucks, because if it's one way, you're still gonna get trucks.
Yeah, you could cut it in half though.
Yeah.
But everything we had in the past was truck noise and trucks and snow piles making noise from that street. We draft something, yeah, get it up to you.
Yeah.
We won't plow it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know her child, he can be, yes, I know, well, their child is,
Special needs.
but, yeah, and, probably doesn't take, he doesn't take direction that well, so. She's concerned, she's doing what any parent would do, so. Well, maybe we can come up with some kind of survey and get to the, everybody on that street.
There's not enough room, even from Third Avenue up to put a sidewalk, is there? Very tight.
Well, we have a street right away, means taking away ditches and lawns and stuff. Yeah, probably,
Probably
and
be
we're
on,
just-
south side, because the north side, you got big drop offs there, right, so.
Yeah,
So that'd be on the south side.
Better to dig than to
and that's not, that'd be major dollars.
Yeah.
To run the sidewalk.
the retaining walls, yeah.
And where's our underground stuff from? Probably on the south side, because of the,
100%.
yeah. Well, we can, maybe Tony can draft up some kind of, these are suggestions, make the
Just
street
about
safe,
that road going up,
improves.
behind Dick
Before
Lee's.
before we jump that gun, maybe we could send that to the director of public works. and-
Yes, I have conversations. He's looked, because the suggestions of putting signs there in the past, flying crest, mirrors so you can see.
Yeah, there should be some signs anyway.
Yeah.
That would probably slow some people down.
We have a discussion at committee of the whole with Public Works. He'll be here. Okay.
In the
Okay.
meantime, can we answer Jeannie and let her know that we're, so we don't,
Yeah, I had put her email address. And I did send her back an email after this, this letter, so. Letter from the municipal, Minister of Municipal Affairs. Telling us, do we write back and thank him for the $2 million he sent us?
am I the only one that thinks, can we see those titles, how much it's gonna cost?
Well, that's exactly what this will be. So this is just, they have to give us a year notice that they're, making changes and anything like this, so Department of Justice wants $845,000 and get divided, so. Amongst everybody. I think they'll find that they do this DNA testing, most of them live outside the town, so. So this is really just a notice to us, unless you feel that, and we're gonna address the other, thing here very shortly, in regards to coastal action. Barrington. Well, I can't either a little bit, because we were advised that the province has already covered some of that, Tom. The retro back pay, unbeknownst to us, or just found out.
Obviously, like, they budgeted for it, just what we thought it could be, and we were billed, so they've got a slush fund to be able to pay that one, the actual, pay some of it, at least. So it's not gonna be, if it's $1 million for retroactive, it's not gonna actually be $1 million for all the units, because it's, they may have 700, right? So,
I mean, I know they'll download it if they want to, but legally, it's not our fault that they postponed negotiations so long. We weren't responsible for the negotiations.
no, exactly.
No, but they don't care.
No.
The NSFM is addressing this collectively with all the municipal units, so they've been sending stuff out, so follow that, see what's going on. Do we want to respond in the same fashion to the province? Individually, or let the NSFM address it in the province?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt coming from one of the smallest municipal units in the province.
Paying the highest per capita COP cost,
And
so.
say, absolutely.
I'll get you to think about that letter over the next few weeks, how much you can put in. Send something off,
Feel free to waggle your finger.
yeah. Maybe just take a picture of your finger,
Put your finger though.
Yeah,
Better be
well,
clear.
I didn't say that. Yeah. Did we have some estimate what it was gonna cost us? Well, I get 65 to 90,000 in my head, I don't know where I got that from. But that may be way off.
Yeah, I can't remember. I wouldn't wanna say it with honesty.
Yeah, yeah. Seabrook Quarry, letter from the Nova Scotia Environment. They'd just like to use our facility as an information center.
Basically what it is, they provide us with the information, and they advertise if anybody wants
Yeah.
the information, they can come here to read it. The information is not to leave, the town hall, it's somebody to read it, and they give it back, and so that's what it's for. And then the district DBs also has a copy, and, I know the Nova Scotia Environment in Yarmouth, they have a copy. So there's numerous places where we just wanna.
Okay. Ready? Okay. I would expect the district office would be busier than ours because we're next door to the office. Okay. Ecology action. And you saw the letter there from the minister talking about coastal, act, and, glad he called me, because those are the ones that I've been after to come here and talk, and so he's agreed to come. I gave some dates on when our committee, the whole council meetings are, so he's gonna get back to us on that. Are we, interested in, addressing, or just accepting this draft letter and sending it off to the minister, or? It is something that's it's gonna affect us one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have a lot of coastal erosion. You see what's happening at the south end of town, so are we happy with this draft, or we wanna send something different? Saying, stop delaying this whole thing?
The draft seems to cover
Draft,
everything that we talked about.
We're happy with that, or do we have any, we're taking a position on something, but. Does it work?
If you don't stand for something, you stand for anything.
Did you see anything in there, Tom, that would be a concern? Nothing other than just,
I guess,
yeah.
the thing is, what it is, the legislation has passed, right, it's the regulations.
Go ahead.
And I think that they found some old bits. Harder to come up with a regulation than they thought it was gonna be, I think. Because basically, when the regulations comes in, there'll be no development downtown.
Yeah.
Not without big bucks being spent.
Well, that lot that Montana has now, that probably burned down. If you have to be above water line, and you have to be so far from it, but like, you probably have a couple of feet to build something on.
Okay, let's get this letter in.
Well, this is to boost them getting the regulation.
Regulations go, yeah. And there are some proposed developments. Because one of the early ones I read on was 300 feet from the shoreline.
Yeah. It's significant.
And there were some developments on Shore Road that might, they ever go ahead with their phase 2, 5, 10, whatever it's gonna be up there, they won't happen on that property. So, it could eliminate some development. And I mentioned that to them up there, and they, said, no, we feel we're gonna be okay, so.
Yeah, well, the thing is that they have to have an engineer design something, so, and sign off and everything within that thing. So we can't, the way that I understand it, but I haven't seen the regulations for that, the way I understand it, is that a development permit or a building permit cannot be issued within that, without having sign off by an engineer saying that this is the whole construction has been engineered and how they're gonna stop the erosion at the site and all of that.
The argument to that is that however, you have high rises within 50 feet of the ocean, but they're built directly on bedrock.
Yeah.
How is that one? I mean, it would grow over a million years, but
You look around the city of Halifax, and that's what they built on.
it's a big brush that paints a lot of things in the wrong way.
But I think we need to force them and get the, because they've been talking about this for years.
Yes.
And it was our number one item on our list 2 years ago, so.
Yeah, just start some.
So, yeah, so we wanna have that drafted on town and let it send in?
Sure.
Make a motion to do that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Any nays? Next one was Digby Cancer Help Fund, thanking us for, their donation. Yeah, it's nice to get a thank you that way, so that's good. Admiral Digby Museum sent a letter saying that they'd like to have a bench or a picnic table, but I don't, you're not directly involved with the board, are you?
No, I got approached Thursday.
Yeah.
I voted and I said, well, send a letter.
Yeah.
And rather than send a letter to Tom, they sent it to me, so I just forwarded it on to you
Yeah.
and Tom.
Yep, that's good.
They spent quite a bit of money cleaning up the parking lot in the back and around the building. And there's a place, the old driveway that's there, the old asphalt driveway there, that looks right out over the harbor. And then close with the old BIC there. And they believe that it's an opportunity for people to come sit and have their lunch and just sit. So, they agree now.
Why don't they know they can buy a picnic table for $100 instead of us at 15 to 2,000, isn't it, Tom? Ours? Yeah.
Yours is a lot better than theirs.
Well, the one, they used to have one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago.
And have they approached any of the businesses?
Yeah, not that I know.
Yeah.
I stuff there, so.
Cause I was thinking that. Anyway, that's how it landed there.
Yeah, that's fine, and I guess I have a little challenge with it because this group owns one.
Yeah.
And then we have another group looking for $2,000 picnic table.
Yeah.
And where do we stop this?
You know,
They wanna come and talk to us, and but I think they could easily, they did a little bit of a fundraising campaign quickly, I think they could raise some money. But I don't know what a good one is, but
Put an appeal on Facebook. Typee does it every day.
they do, yeah. So what do we wanna do, just say thank you, but it's not, apply for a grant next year? Yeah, apply for a grant. Yeah, okay. We'll have to tell them that our grant process is open January 1, whatever it is. Okay, moving into new business. The draft bylaw brochure.
I love the Yankee dog.
It's, yeah. Hey Tom, the bylaw officer put that together?
Yes, you did.
Nice job. What's everybody's comments on it?
Great idea.
I think it's a good way to communicate with people instead of them finding out what the rule is when they're there getting a ticket, so.
She wanted something that she can give to people. And plus we can use it, we can use it at the spring show thing, distribute it.
Can we put our colorful crest there? Like what you have on your shirt? Instead of just the, yes.
It's not better than the black and white.
Yeah, the brochure is so nice and then you got that little big spot there. Can that be done?
All you gotta do is replace them.
Yeah, just,
Put the new one, take that one off, and put the new one on.
but it is well done, I just say.
I think she probably chose that one because she's sort of bylaw related, and that's what her press and stuff has, is the
Oh, yeah.
original town press. So,
It's sort of an official trademark rather than a promotional thing, right? You know what I mean? It's
but,
official.
if you want it to be more colorful,
Yeah,
I agree with our marketing logo, so it's probably best.
Well, that's the whole thing, it's a bit of it's a marketing piece, just, I think you tell her council says she's done a nice job, so. Anybody else got any comments?
We should have taken pictures of lobster traps and at least that runner or not CBC. But
Yeah.
No photo credit, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, in our grabbing photos, we could,
right here in our back.
we'll go down and tell her to take some photos of lobster traps.
Yes, cat to go down. Her cat might already have.
Yeah, I guess the sun's rising over there, too pretty for this bush.
And the royalties are far too high.
Exactly, my royalties are far too high. I get 99 cents from Shutterstock every time I sell a photo. Yeah, you don't want official approval, just tell them. Yeah, you can, or you can flip your computer or flip the image.
Right here. I was going like this
You-
too until I seen it was a rabbit.
Rotate counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Right. I'll go with the top page.
Yeah.
It's like a pizza, rolled around, Boston pizza.
I got like a free Sunday trial thing.
Oh, yeah, you should be able to look around here too. Anyway, Tom, I'll get it going, and we can, will it be ready by the 17th, is that the?
Ready right now, bring her on.
We also got to change that logo, and so we get another picture of lobster traps, and if that becomes a problem in the first edition we come back, she can change it in the second edition, second month.
He's up on the corner of Carlton Street, King and Victoria, and there's a big pile of them there, stacked up, so.
And if you need a photo of how not to, I have several locations that you can go.
That's good. That's the way off the traps, yeah.
There's also a thing at Waste Check, if you, under, it says be a good neighbor, do your part. If they wanna do a community cleanup, they provide everything to do that cleanup, so I don't know if she wants to put that in there somewhere.
Because I get stuff from Waste Check a year ago,
Yeah.
because it was in the ditch.
Yeah, cause they supply all the materials to clean up, right?
There's no link to Waste Check anywhere.
There is just information on it, but there's nothing, like right up the top there is, right, what can I do under the?
Yeah, the
There's some
website
there.
address is
Yeah.
there.
And is there no explanation of the app too?
A lot of people don't, aren't aware
I
that
thought
the
you
app
referred
is.
to the My Waste app.
But it's a good start.
Yeah,
And
it's good.
we need to start, right? So,
Yeah. Tell her it's on the printer on.
Yeah.
She's, she's came up with a QR code on her, right now, her Model her business card has a QR code and that picture right through the town meeting bylaws.
Yep.
Right? So,
Which is good.
Brilliant.
and if she has it again on here.
Well, we sat in a number of restaurants where the menu was QR code
Yeah,
last week.
Yeah.
The QR code.
Are you selling space on your business card?
Yeah,
that's what they did. They probably started doing that over COVID, right? So they didn't have to pass menus, right?
Nobody texts in Toronto. Everybody's got an earbud and they talk. They don't even text anymore.
Yeah, walking down the street.
Okay. Bylaw enforcement commissioners.
So I'd add that to the agenda tonight. I know we brought it up probably a few years back, but yesterday I met with the commissioner and, I know Laura Lee's busy with cleaning properties up. It's that time of year, and I know we've talked about it for 100 years now, but parking downtown is being addressed, probably. Maybe some way we could get hold of commissioners to see if we could do a couple days a week randomly downtown to get them to do our parking enforcement. Just food for thought. If you look
She
for
is
long-
doing
Huh?
She is, I go through town, she's having conversations with people.
So
I just keep right on going.
Right, so the past, but I mean, I think we need her to work on the unsightly premises of properties a lot more than what she probably is. I know there's time consuming and everything to do that, right? But, summer's coming and there's a lot of places that need cleaning up. It is a mess. And I just think if we can maybe get another agency to take a part of that for her, get that done. And I mean, I've been here a long time. Parking tickets, maybe $100, $200 a year. There's not a lot of parking tickets in town.
And what's the commissioners gonna cost you?
Well, that's what we have to look into, right?
They approached the number, they've approached here before,
Yeah.
commissioners.
Yeah.
And actually, I got an email a week or so ago from commissioners, one that are in charge up in Kentville. Just wanted to find out whether we had actually filled our bylaw officer's position, because they were interested in making that. They knew they couldn't fill that position, but they knew to offer some service, right, so.
I invited it.
Maybe worth looking at the service.
And Laura Lee, she didn't know that it was on the agenda. I met with her last week. She came in, and she's concerned that she's not doing the parking the justice that it should be doing, because the other stuff that she's doing, the bylaws and being with integrity and that, and dealing with those clients are using up most of their time. And, I mean, there should be, probably, they've been talking about like parking ever since the first automobile drove down the street.
Wow. Just I'm thinking, Rich Hazel's roll over his grave because he told me to stop talking about parking, because we talked about it in 1965, when he was a counselor. He said, stop talking about parking.
Unfortunately, you still see some of the service trucks parking on the sidewalks. That's the.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't ignore anything that she sees, that's right, but she said, doing the 2-hour parking is, yeah, I mean, you have to,
Go within 2 hours.
yeah, right? You have to go down first, take the first tour, and then you gotta go back 2 hours later and start all over again, right?
And then try to remember if that vehicle was just in the spot behind her head.
But I'd much sooner see her out there doing the unsightly than down there.
But it's a service that's not gonna pay for it. If you're gonna hire a commissioner to do parking, it's not gonna pay for itself. And I guarantee today, it's not gonna improve parking.
Probably need more than $100 a year. than what we're doing now with that.
Well, we have to do it,
No. But I mean, I don't know whether there's a bylaw or something we can come up with where, you know, Mike, your employees are parked up front, here's your ticket. I mean, a lot of the places downtown is employees,
But it should be up to the employer,
but we've
to
done
be a little
that.
more.
But we've done that. We've done that, we've sent letters to the employers, and
It hasn't
it's just not happened, right? I mean, one employee moved a car every 2 hours. For 10 years, she did that, every day, she moved her car an inch.
Well, it might have been, but I don't think it's gonna, that's my opinion, it's not gonna change anything, but
But
my
I mean, I can make contact and find out what, if we wanted that type of service, what it would cost.
That's right.
Yeah, even if it's just a couple days a week, right, random.
Well, that's what I was gonna suggest, is
Yeah.
it's not that, it's Laura Lee, you pick a random day a week and your focus is on parking. The other 4 days a week are fought, or 3 days,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the other thing, it's either that or we don't have 2 hour parking at all.
Well, yeah.
And just,
Make it a free for all.
yeah, we can make it free for all, but she can enforce like people parking in handicap that aren't handicapped.
you know.
And parking in front of the fire hydrants and on sidewalks and stuff, she can still do that stuff, cause some of that stuff, even if she's working at her office, she can see that on the video.
Yeah, she can see that, so she could, I mean, for example, if the car is parked on the street and she sees it, and then an hour and a half or 2 hours later, she can get down, write a warning on that car without marking the tires.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know why we have to mark the
That's
tires.
the biggest thing, is either that or we want to spend, tens of thousands of dollars to put a parking system in. Back to the meter type thing again, not
Right.
meters, but, like we do in Halifax, you go, and, say I want 2 hours parking, you paid for it, and when your time is up, it says, car such and such plate number is exceeding its time.
You also have a handheld reader where you can walk down and read the plate, tags the time to it, and then you go back down and just read the plates again.
Yeah,
It's not, it's just a handheld.
just a handheld, yeah.
So Richard,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll give them a call, see what they,
Can't hurt.
by then. Events. I haven't had.
That's what we want to do.
that's the key. Candidate.
July 1st, easy to do. Hot dogs and the barbecue.
So we are proceeding with Canada today as normal?
Yeah. We did last year.
I know, but you also didn't want the levy, so I just wanted to be sure.
But we did talk about doing the, probably too late this year, doing the, Citizen of the Year, or the,
Join Canada, yeah. Well, when do we normally do that? July sometime? No,
Are
yeah.
you talking about the Joe Casey one?
Yeah.
Casey,
Yeah, when's that?
We should do that in
It's usually,
June.
yeah, so it's not too
We
late.
changed the levy to the breakfast, right?
Not officially, I don't think there's been
Oh, not
any,
officially?
no, that's
Oh, I
right.
thought we had put that to bed, and that's what we were doing. Am I mistaken?
Well, we talked about that, we talked about Canada Day, then we had with it, so. But if you did the citizen thing,
Joe Casey,
yeah, Joe Casey Memorial, humanitarian award, it's not too late to do it yet.
Well, there's already been applications for that, has not. Joe Casey?
Typically try to do Joe Casey around the time of the family.
The
can-
family can come.
There's been some sent in, I know, for Joe Casey, right?
Yeah, so Canada Day's the first one, to get it away.
We've typically done before COVID of barbecue.
Well, we did last year, but we had the same regular Canada Day.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we did last year. The band's already rolled, they said they'd go.
You spoke to them?
Yeah, I told you. They'd come. Yes, the
We're talking about the band, or?
band, no, not the band.
Are you going with the same band or a different band?
I don't know if the band you both.
available? And I said, yes, they're available. Yes. Same price,
Same price.
same price. Might even been an email form. Customer. Yes. I did what you told me
It
to
was
do.
mixed in with his building permit for his greenhouse, Leslie.
I guess.
My house is not green. Anyway, we can find it for you, but I did that. So we'll need, like, we can all help get everything down there. Yeah. All that. Peter has a nice new barbecue.
Excellent.
You will by that day?
The old place, we'll have to go get it, but it's there.
Yeah, it's there. Okay, we can make it, and you don't have to do it all yourself. Okay.
No, if you need any, no, just call.
But does the town?
Give me a list of what you
Yeah, we
need.
do.
You can
Dark has barbecue, and there's one somewheres, is down,
We've got one or two.
yeah, we got, yeah. So,
Some, they use them occasionally at Public Works.
yeah.
So I think they're up there. Right. So we're up there and then they use it once in a while for staff. Or something, so.
Okay.
So this, oh, sorry.
Are you gonna pick a
These
rain
statements?
location?
For 2 acres?
We tried that and it never worked. We moved it to Wright one year or something. Or we moved it, we were gonna move it to, just. It was one year, the Wright one year. Because you have a band booked. If it rains, it just gets, if it's gonna rain hard, it just gets canceled. I think that's the easiest way to deal with it. Well,
Yeah, it makes it hard for the kids and stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, because they have to pre-work that.
I
Yeah.
should probably go for a rain site, just in case, like maybe the arena. I don't know.
Did you find out the fire department?
What we do is center under hot
There,
dogs,
and then
right?
go inside if you, that way?
well, you're gonna have a band, either they get canceled or they have to set up.
Yeah, we're gonna set up.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Could they have, they been put in that side door so that they can be in undercover if it does rain?
But it's nippy day.
Well, they can sit on the apparatus floor, you have to drive a truck up.
Yeah, I'd go for the arena, well, curling club even, right?
You want me to see what I
Just
can
can't
find?
do it all week.
Yeah, I would. I mean, we've been lucky so far, knock on wood.
It rained last year, it stopped raining just
Not
not
for
started.
distance,
When it
yeah.
started, but we were gonna go ahead with it.
Yeah,
So spring into summer, just talk about that briefly.
Okay.
Is next weekend, next week from Saturday.
is that okay?
2 weeks.
Do we have like a lineup, or do you want me to just send out an email to see who might be interested in attending?
They can just ask them to, what times, the amount of times. And send it to everybody, staff too.
Yeah. Joy had one last year.
Yeah,
Joy bought a whole bunch of town stuff.
And handouts, I guess more focused on garbage and.
And we have,
Yeah. So we'll just put some material like that together again like we did last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
the best thing is just to talk to people, and
Just find out what the municipality are gonna do too.
well, they're bringing
Like a
scallops,
carpet and shingles.
Lobsters and scallops.
Oh, nice.
Good revision.
Yeah, well, we should let them come free if they're doing that.
I'll be working on 12 if it wants to work. I'll tell
Actually, I think Scholar Days is doing the Scholar Card.
No, we do this one as well. But I don't bring lobsters and scallops. I wish I could.
Okay, that's the last thing on the agenda, we have an in-camera session, so we motion to win camera, and then we get to kick everybody out of the room.
Thanks, guys. I know that was your, plan in
No,
public. I
No.
read something and I didn't hear, that's why I came. Mine's next week.
Nope.
And I'm gonna share that.
I'm cheering, coming.
Are you coming?
Yeah.
But it was good to come down and get one of these meetings in. That reminds me, we need to have a joint one. Sooner rather than later.
I mentioned that recently, we're having a joint meeting.
Yeah, we should have one. Not, in the summer, but December.
Summer's good, yeah.
Well, okay, can I have a motion from the camera? I'm ready to check there. All those in favor, let's go in camera? Aye.
Any nays? None. Motion carried, we're in camera, motion to adjourn. Second. Everybody agree? The original consensus, we're